Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my autumn Halloween inspired DIYs for the home. If you watched my recent Poundland haul, you will know that I got a bunch of stuff to make some home DIYs for autumn and for Halloween, and these are really inexpensive, easy, cheap ways to add a bit of autumn decor to your home. I'm really excited to show you what I've made. I'm really pleased with how a lot of this has turned out, especially the things that looked very cheap and nasty before I sprayed them and just, you know, zhuzhed them up a little bit and made them a little bit more farmhouse inspired, homey, Pinteresty for this house. If you're new to my channel, then my name is Ash and I'm a mum of two. I am definitely want my kids to feel like we live in America by the time they're like 10, because I'm going to keep adding to my Halloween collection. I feel like we should be more American in all aspects of holidays. They just do it right every time. I feel like so jealous when I look on Pinterest of all these beautiful porches and lovely front doors, and I just definitely wish we had more of that here. I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway, grab a cup of tea. I have to certainly get mine because it's freezing today and we're just back in from a nice day out. And I'm going to jump into the video, show you what I've done. And if you do any of these, I would love for you to take to Instagram and post a picture to tag me on it and show me what you've done. It would really make my day to see that some of you have made some of these things. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the video. To keep me on track, I've got these all on my phone so I can remember everything that I've done. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this little vase. Now, of course, it is not a vase as you know it, it's actually just a hand soap dispenser, and all I've done is literally just taken a tea towel, cut a big long strip and tied it round it into a little bow at the front. I love this buffalo check. It is very Pinterest inspired. It's a really nice way to add some contrast to the whites and the kind of oranges and the creams with the Halloween decor or the autumn decor, and I really love the way that the black and white stand out. It's gorgeous. So all I've done is literally just take a long piece of material. I haven't even measured it. I've just tied it into a bow using some jute string and then attached it to this little hand soap dispenser, of course removing the pump. And then I went on a walk with the kids and picked up some of these grasses and allowed them to dry at home, and just popped them inside of the vase along with a few artificial bits and little twigs and these lovely little feathery bits from Poundland as well. And I just really like the way this looks. I think because it's so small and dinky, it's nice for small shelving areas. It would be lovely to use on inbuilts, and also if you've got small windows in your bathroom, I think it'd look cute in there. I've obviously arranged it on my breakfast bar because it's not too tall, and I really love the way that this one turned out. These weren't exactly a massive DIY makeover, but it just goes to show you what a bit of spray paint can do to some items from the pound shops. I've literally just held this at a distance and gave it a light dusting with some white auto spray paint, and just that nice dusting has taken off the really stark black shiny plastic look to it, and I think these would actually look quite cool at Christmas time as well, so I might keep them out all year until January. I really love the way these candlesticks have turned out, and they also are battery operated, so I can turn them on and use them at night time as well to give a nice glow in the room. Now this right here has got to be my pride and joy of the whole decor. Now as I say, spray paints can make the biggest difference. I got this spray paint from Poundland as well, and it is the chalk antique spray paint. This is in the green colour. It's that really gorgeous moss green, and not only do I think this looks good for the autumn with the little pine cones on it, and you know, it's just quite kind of farmhouse inspired. I think this would look lovely in a wedding reception, you know, as a wee bit of decor, or if you've got a wee cafe. Can you tell I really wish I had a cafe? If you had like a little cafe or you own a shop, or you know, just something like that, I think it would look really cute to decorate your tables like this. I just think it looks really nice. All I have done is literally spray this with the spray paint, let it dry. It didn't take long at all, and then I've just added on these little bits of foliage from Poundland. I've just taken these sprigs apart, attached a few flowers, some pine cones and some greenery. This little candle inside it lights up, and it's actually running out of batteries, which I prefer because it's not as bright, but it just looks really nice, and I love the way that this has turned out. You could definitely do a few of these and hang them with some invisible thread as well from your ceiling if you want to be a bit extra. I think I might try and do that for next year, but if you've seen this before on the last video, then you'll know it was literally like plastic, black, stark, cheap looking, and now I think it looks pretty good, so I'm pleased with how this has turned out. Now I think on the last video everyone was kind of like, what are you talking about with the book thing? But if you go on Pinterest, you cannot escape this trend, which is stacking white books together. So what I wanted to do was just add a bit of dimension to my little settings that I'm going to make. So just because everything tends to be the same kind of size when you're doing Halloween things. Like all the pumpkins are the same kind of size, and you just want to create different levels. So this is a really good way to do it, and very inexpensively. I literally just took these books from Poundland, £1 each, 2 different sizes. I removed the outer sleeve and then painted these using spray paint, and they dried pretty quickly, to be fair. Actually, a good tip if you're going to spray these is if you open them fully from the middle, you can just spray right across the 2 sides of the hardback book, and then it means you don't have to like wait for it to dry and turn it over. So that was a really good thing that I did, and it saved me so much time. And when they were dry, all I did was get my tea towels, cut off 2 pieces of the fabric to fit the back of the spine, and attached it using a glue gun. It was really easy to do, and then all I've done is stack them in a kind of like, you know, not perfect situation. I've just kind of stacked them offset, and then I've used some jute to attach them like a little parcel. And then to top it all off, I've got this little skull, which you can actually get the See No Evil and Speak No Evil one as well, and I've sprayed that using the chalk paint, which looks really cool. It's kind of like an orangey antique white, which I think looks really nice against the stark white. And all I've done is just glue gun that to the top, so it's like a big book stop, like a paperweight. So I think that looks really nice. I'm glad that I've done that, and I think that it just gives a nice different level to our little Halloween fall settings. Poundland is full of novelty pumpkins, so you've got like all these really nice orange ones. They're very vibrant if that's your thing, but sometimes I feel very put off by them because it's definitely not my taste in decor. But again, really easy to just spray and make them your own. I took this orange pumpkin and sprayed it all white. It's a lovely glossy white pumpkin now, which is actually cracked at both sides of the cheek and looks a bit like the Joker, to be fair. But I've used this and I've actually stacked it on the top of a pillar candle holder, so it's a kind of mottled silver. It looks really nice, and if you go on Pinterest, people do this loads, and it's a great way to show different levels of your pumpkins. So I've just taken this, it's only £1, and then I've popped on my new white ceramic pumpkin on top of it, and I think it looks really nice sitting in my entrance hallway table, and it just looks very clean, and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I also got a couple of these really cool polystyrene pumpkins, but they're black and glittery, and the glitter was going everywhere, and the black was just a bit naff looking. I didn't really like the way it looked, so I got 2 chalk spray paints from Poundland. They were £2 each. One is an antique white, which is that kind of slightly peachy toned white, and the other one was in that really nice mossy green. So what I did was I removed the stalks from the pumpkins, put them aside, and then just sprayed them. It literally took me about 2 minutes to do, and then they dried within an hour. And then I just glue gunned the pumpkin stems back in the top again, and then I got a little bit of that buffalo check from the tea towels, tied them in a bow round the stalk of the pumpkin, and just added a bit of something different to them. And I absolutely love how these have turned out. They are very expensive looking, but obviously did not cost me a lot to do it at all. And the fact that they're lightweight means they'll be good to store away, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that they don't get damaged over the winter, and next year I'll be able to bring them out again and display them next autumn. One thing that got me really inspired to make some home DIYs was the fact that I'd looked on TK Maxx and seen so many autumn wreaths, pumpkins, everything, you name it. I really wanted to deck this whole place out with autumn homeware, but when I started adding it all up, it was getting really expensive, and I feel like the cost could have seriously ran away with me if I did not rein it in and think about doing this instead. So what I did was I wanted to make an autumn wreath, and you will have seen in the last haul that I got these little wreath makers from Poundland. They are very dinky, they're really small. I mean, I think they're nice for autumn because you want your winter wreath to be bigger than your autumn wreath maybe. I don't know. I feel like this was a nice place for me to start off anyway. So what I did is I got the white wicker wreath, and just literally any little bits and pieces that I foraged on walks with kids, I just brought back and used for it. So the first thing I got were these really nice sort of maple-like leaves, and I just found these in the ground when we were out a walk, gave them a little wash. They were a bit green still. I wasn't really pleased with the colour of them. I wanted them to feel more rusty orange autumn feeling, but they weren't. So I decided to look for some gold spray paint, and I knew that I had some from wedding DIYs that I'd done. So I found some of that and just held them at a distance, gave them a dusting with the gold spray paint, and then when that was dried, I decided to try and glaze them using PVA glue, Neil Buchanan over here, and I just gave them a glaze with PVA glue and left them overnight to dry, and that way they were weatherproof, they weren't going to perish, and I could use them to stick them onto my wreath. So that's how I started it. I used all my little leaves first, And then I also added in some sprigs from my little artificial plants that I had from Poundland. Also had some pine cones and some conkers as well as some of those little flowers that I'd used on the lantern or the birdcage, and I just added them all together. And I think that keeping the same pieces of artificial flowers together throughout the home really makes it quite cohesive, because you're walking in from the wreath and then seeing the little birdcage that's the same as the wreath, and it just all kind of adds up quite nicely together. So I was pleased with how that turned out. And to attach it to the door, they do 2 suction hooks from Poundland for £1 in a pack. It's in the Christmas section, so if you're needing one of them, I would get one now. And they do actually do a good job. That's been up for 2 days now and it hasn't budged, so I'm pleased with that. I just stuck it to the glass on the door and then just hung up my little wreath. And I have another one left over, so I might save that for either Christmas time, or I might make one for my mum. Not sure. I think I'll make one for my mum as well. A very easy way to make a little pumpkin is just by getting an extra large hair donut. I actually seen this on Pinterest. It's such a good idea. And then using a leather chamois, you can literally just cover this. It's so easy to do. You like turn it in on itself and stuff it into the center of the donut, and then getting a piece of jute string or any string that you want to use, just tie that in a knot at the end, put it through the center of the donut with a knitting needle, and then keep going round and round the donut until you get that nice pumpkin shape. Once you've got the shape, you can either get a twig from the garden and glue gun it in the centre for the stalk, or you can do what I do and just get some jute, tie it around 2 fingers and then glue gun that in the middle, and if you twist it, it will create a little jute stalk.
Yeah.
What do you think of Mummy's pumpkins?
Pumpkin picking.
Pumpkin picking, do you like them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice, aren't they? And then another little DIY I did was on this vase. Now, this wee vase is gorgeous regardless of even having to do it up. It's just a white vase and it's perfect for smaller spaces. But what I wanted to do was actually put some more natural colour onto it. I was going to use the jute and keep tying it round and round, but I soon realised that actually that was going to take me ages, and being a bit impatient, I decided to just take some of that buffalo check instead and put that around the middle. And then what I did instead is I got the jute and then tied it around my hand several times, held it together and then tied around the centre with another piece of string and made it into a little jute bow, and just glue gunned that to the front of my checkered part in the middle, and I think that looked really, really nice. All I did was filled it with some of these feathery reeds and some like pine cone reeds, made that area look the same as the other parts of the house, and just draw all those colours together. So obviously I have then put them with other items that I did not have to do any DIY with. Some of these little boo pumpkins that I got in Poundland, they come like this already. I've obviously got some of these sitting with like floral arrangements that I already have in the home. I've just added to them. And then the extra buffalo check that I had in the tea towel, I tied around a little crate that I had and then used it to stack things on top of as a little display area. And I've just kind of done little bits and pieces around the house just to make it feel a bit more autumnal and Halloween, and just to make it a bit more decorated. I mean, I think in 10 years time I'm hoping this whole place will be decked out, because I really want the kids to grow up thinking, my god, my mum really made an effort when it came to the holidays. So yeah, that is kind of the plan. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you're new to my channel, I would absolutely love if you hit subscribe and follow me over on Instagram as well. If you make any of these as well, please do send me them on Instagram or tag me on your Instagram so that I can see them. I would absolutely love to see what you've done. And yeah, have a nice day and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.